Moving out of your parents' crib. Now I feel like this is a coming of age moment for everybody. You know how your parents probably said, oh yeah, you graduated high school, now you about to get a taste of the real world. No, I feel like your taste of the real world comes when you leave the nest, when you move out of your parents' crib. Now, to my people who are living with their parents, yeah, don't let anybody judge you for doing that, but what I need you to do and what I want to make sure is that you're not slacking. If you're staying with your parents and you're 20 years old right now, for the love of God, stack your money up. Have your fun here and there, but stack your money up so you can leave. Because I know a lot of people who are living with their parents right now, they don't have a lot of the freedoms that they want. You know, you can't, for the guys, you can't walk around the crib with your boxers, you know what I'm saying? For everybody, you know, you can't indulge the things that you want to indulge in, whether that's, you know, having somebody over, sparking up a little, you know what I'm saying, drink, whatever it is. You don't have a lot of freedom when it comes to living with your parents, unless you have parents that, you know, let you do whatever you want in their crib. Then in that case, there ain't nothing I can really tell you. But I feel like so much freedom comes with moving out. But in this economy, it is very hard. I'm not gonna be one of those people that's just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's super easy to move out. It's not super easy, but if you're determined, it can be done. But there are a lot of caveats with living with your parents when you are 20 some years old and above. And we're gonna get into those caveats with living with your parents in your 20s. Video by Chulde. I don't even know how you say his name. Let's get into this, man. For me personally, when it came to moving out, I just couldn't imagine a reality where I was 21 still living with my parents. Now, I'm 20 right now. Respectfully, love my parents, all of that. And hell, they probably would have wanted me to stay with them for longer. But it's just that freedom, bro. That freedom of living on your own, bruh. Boy, oh boy. Let's get into this video. Let's go.
If you're in your 20s still living with your parents, you're a loser.
Damn.
No motion, no money, and especially no bitches. Yeah, that's what I used to think when I was a kid. I ain't
gonna lie, the emphasis on the last part and the bitches part, that's a gender neutral term for this sentence, bro. I know a lot of my homegirls and a lot of my homeboys wish that they was living in their own crib so that way they could do whatever they want, get a little geeky in the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? But they can't do that because they're living with their parents. And a lot of people's parents are like, you not about to have my crib like a whorehouse, period.
Movies and people on social media live out their lives after moving to their own place. I know it was very common in the old days and for the older generations to move out of the house very early. Like once you turn 18 and you're a legal adult, you go off on your own and buy a home for the cost of a McChicken. Back then, living on your own was a sign of being independent and having freedom. It was a standard. So for the ones who didn't move out, it was like there was something wrong with them. But fast forward today, yeah, that's just not happening. The more I grew up, the more I realized that moving out isn't as easy as how people made it seem. With the economic state of the world, it's not realistic for someone to have their own place that young. Especially when you're like 18, bro, you just got out of high school. You probably didn't work your entire life, and if you did, it was part-time at McDonald's or something. And even in your early 20s, most people just graduated college and have a ton of debt to pay off. So adding the cost of rent on top of that is just gonna be another financial drainage. Either that or you barely started.
Yeah, to all my college kids, if you do have a lot of debt, live with your parents and just stack up. That's my whole kill. If you are living with your parents and you're 20 some years old and you're stacking up in order to move out eventually, cool, no problems. If you are 20 some years old and every check you're just blowing that bit, still living with your parents, I gotta call you out on that, because that's bum behavior. That's bum behavior. You should want to move out at some point. Period. Because I feel like in a weird way, like when you're living with your parents, they still have control over you even when you're an adult. Like, yeah, you're considered an adult, but not in their eyes. You're still their kid. But when you move out, yeah, you're still their kid, but now you're their kid that has a place. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to deal with the BS your parents be on sometimes.
And have a little amount of savings, which won't be enough to buy yourself a home, that's for sure. The idea of getting your own place was kind of like a dream that I couldn't experience, at least when it came to my situation. Because after high school, a good amount of people still move out of their parents' home for college. They'll be out living in dorms, in a new environment. There's tons of events going on in a new city, and they're surrounded by people their own age too. It's exciting, it's fun, it's new. And after living in a bubble with your parents your whole life, that is the first thrill you get when you move to a new place. But meanwhile, I didn't dorm out. Tuition was already expensive and I wasn't gonna pile on the cost of living on my own. And without any financial aid, the full price of a college dorm is close to $1,300 a month. And you're stuck with a roommate in a shared tiny room. So I didn't find it to be worth it, and I was a commuter to my local university. But not gonna lie, when I saw my mutuals post on social media about their college life and being in a new city, I would get some FOMO. Cause you see these people having the time of their lives, making a bunch of friends while you're still at home with parents. You wake up in the morning and you see mama and papa there, feeling stuck in the same place while you're watching others progress. There isn't anything wrong with
That's another thing, fool. I don't know about y'all, but that feeling of watching my friends move out of their parents' crib and get spots or whatever, not in like in a jealousy way, but not in a jealousy way towards them, in a way of like, bro, I want that, bro. That feeling ate me up inside, and that's what really made me grind and like, yo, bro, I gotta get the hell up out of my parents' crib, bro, because you feel like stuck in a way. Yeah, bro. And this can even go from moving out of your parents' crib to moving out of your hometown. Bro, I'm telling you right now, one of the best experiences you will have if you feel stuck in life, save up some breesh and move out of your hometown, bro. Whether that's stateside, whether that's going from coast to coast. You may live on the East Coast, go to the West Coast. You may live on the West Coast, go to the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? Like, moving out of your hometown, it might feel isolated in certain ways, but it gives you the autonomy to, one, make new friends. And in this new town, guess what? You can literally create who you want to be. Back in your hometown, you were just Joe. You were just that person. People already kind of had you in a box. Bro, when you move out of your hometown, you literally get to create your avatar again. It's crazy.
With parents, but there's just some things that you can't do around them. Like sometimes you want to bring your friends over to hang out and party. You can't do that with mom and dad around. Want to bring a girlfriend or boyfriend over? No privacy. You got to be careful on what you talk about on the phone because your parents might be listening in. Even with stricter parents, some people have curfews, which is kind of crazy if you're in your 20s. There's this app called Life 360 and it's kind of like sharing your location, except on steroids. Because not only do you know where a person is located, you get notifications on the extra details like when they arrived at this address, how long they stayed at this address for, how fast they were driving. One of my friends has that type of relationship with their mom, and when I hear about it, it sounds like they're a dog on a leash. This is definitely the reason for what drives their son or daughter away from the house, when they're so controlled to the point they don't find it worth it to be living under the same household. I'm not in that situation personally. Obviously, living with parents comes with some restrictions, but it's not to the point where it's toxic and I feel like I have to move out. But after seeing both sides of it, being a person who stayed home and also seeing friends getting their own place, they both come with pros and cons. These are the trends I noticed. The biggest one being the financial benefit. Whoever stayed living at home typically had more savings than those who moved out. When I asked my friends to go on a trip, the ones who live in dorms have a way smaller budget than those who didn't. And it makes sense because they're the ones who have to shell out a couple $1,000s in rent every month. The ones who didn't pay rent, they could use their savings to go on vacations and splurge if they wanted to. It's like an unpatched method. Live with your parents to pay little to no rent and use that extra cash to go on your vacations. Living at home also gives you more free time.
Or stack those savings up and get you a place. I'm telling you, bro. Having that 6 to 7 months of rent saved up, you get the place and you litty. Boy, oh my God.
Time too. Back in college, I was extremely locked in. I was working 2 jobs, full-time in school, at my prime in the gym. Bench 225 at 130 pounds, you know what I'm saying? I fell off now, but a huge contribution to me being able to do all that was because I had the luxury of other responsibilities taken off my hands. I came home from an 8-hour shift and a meal was prepared by my mom. And because I didn't have to deal with the everyday chores like laundry, dishes, cooking meals, that opened up my schedule to be more productive on other things. Now that I think about it, I would be broke as hell if I had my own apartment. Because not only would I be working less hours because I would spend time doing household chores, but every penny I earned working would have to be used for rent. I would be in a cycle of brokenness, like I would be working all these hours just to pay for my living expenses and going back to $0. The benefit of additional time and saving money is phenomenal. Do you think I could have uploaded 40 plus videos this year if I lived by myself? Absolutely not. By the way, like and subscribe. We're almost at 30.
I feel like it depends on who you are. You could, you know what I'm saying? But also, if you have friends, you can get together a plan and move with them. Get roommates. Now the roommate thing, it's shiesty. Now with your friends, you kind of know them a little bit, but you don't know how they you don't know how they live for real. So you'll see that with the apartment, but with like random roommates, oh boy, that's a completely different ball game. Oh my god.
And I would really appreciate it if you click those 2 buttons right there. On the other hand, people who moved out are more independent. Living on your own shapes you to be someone else, and you'll grow in a way that wouldn't be possible with your parents' support. No one's there to hold your hand anymore. And when you remove that security blanket, you become self-reliant. By managing your own expenses, learning to take care of yourself on your own, you evolve. For example, one of the things that I've seen a lot with people who stayed with their parents, like even beyond their 20s, like their 30s and shit like that, they're stuck as fuck. They're stagnant as hell. All of the people that I know that have moved out, you know, either it made or break them. Some of them got broken. Some of them became the best version of themselves because moving out literally pushes you to not stay stagnant. You always have to keep improving yourself. There's always a level of independence there. Like, yeah, that's just what I've seen. My friends could not cook if his life depended on it. One time he served me bacon like this. Them shits was still oinking. And ever since he moved out,
Young ain't raw bacon. Shout out to Rod, bro. Young ain't raw bacon.
He got to buy his own groceries, prepare his own meals, and his cooking has actually been pretty good. I'm willing to bet that if this person was thrown in a random city with no connections, they'll be able to figure out how to adapt. And I'm sure that gives you confidence because you can navigate your life.
Moving out gives you adaptability for some people. Not like I said before. That moving out shit will make or break you, bro. So, to everybody watching this video who's about to move out or is moving out, whatever, please, for the love of God, start budgeting. Start budgeting. Hell, if you're still living with your parents right now, start budgeting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now, yeah, this is going to sound like, oh, bro, this is Marso reacts. This is common knowledge. This is common knowledge, bro. I guess a good 75% of America does not budget, bro. They don't. Y'all just spend y'all shit willy-nilly. Figure out the bills that you have. Figure out the expenses, responsibilities, things of that nature that you have, and budget. Bro, when you budget your bills, all that, and you can even budget like the money you can use to have fun. Bro, oh my, the safety net that's over you now that you've budgeted, you know. I'll tell y'all my budget split towards the latter end of this video, but yeah, I'm telling you, budget, please.
Through unknown situations.
Make one.
Being out on your own also forces you to talk to people. If you're in a new area full of strangers, you'll eventually venture out to make friends. When you're out exploring the city, you'll probably bump into the people that share the same interests and become very close friends with them. And now your connections expanded from just your hometown. At the same time though, for the ones who stayed in their hometown, I feel like the closeness of old friends grew even stronger. Regardless of what social media makes it seem, the majority of people stay with their family even after high school graduation. And because of that, I was able to bond more with the friends I already had. A lot of my closest friends are like 6-7 year relationships that I met from high school. And I don't think I would be as close to them if I moved somewhere else. When it comes to people who are in like a toxic, controlling household, the ones that move out seem to be in a better relationship with their family. You know the saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder? I think in a platonic sense, your parents get used to you not being around the house as often, and they start lessening their control towards you. They see how you're fine on your own.
It depends, bro. I got a homeboy. His parents, they weren't toxic, but his mom was just like super controlling. She always wanted to know where he was at. This man would literally have to text his mom, oh yeah, I'm going to hang out with the boys. Text his mom, oh yeah, I'm doing this thing. Bro, he even had to text his mom saying, oh, I'm hanging out with a girl. And she was blowing up his phone over that shit. Bro, when he moved out, for one, he had to keep it under wraps because he made like certain statements of, oh yeah, I'm about to move out, and she was like, oh no, you can't move out, because of this, that, and the third. Do you have this? Do you have that? Bro, when he moved out, his mom literally fought tooth and nail to bring him back into the crib. Fought tooth and nail. Keep in mind, he didn't even tell her where she lived at. She had to find that out through like his siblings. You feel me? And I feel like that isn't like a one person experience. A lot of people grow up with helicopter parents that, in theory, like in their head, they're like, oh, I just want to see my baby prosper and I want to do everything I can to make sure that they're good. But in actuality, not letting your child have some sort of independence, you're hindering them. You are literally hindering them. Like, if my dog didn't move out, bro, he might have been a bum. He might have been a bum, but now he's so happy because he has way more freedom, bro. Hell, you can even say too much freedom because sometimes he don't even know what to do with it. But it's just seeing him happy was just like, bro, yeah, like this is what it's supposed to be. Like, you moving out, you getting this freedom, that's what it's supposed to be. And I feel like people who have those helicopter parents, but also people who just stay in the crib, stay in their parents' crib for a long period of time, y'all don't got that.
And give you more freedom, and hopefully that makes your family get along better. I just wanted to call out the differences between living on your own versus with parents. I know it's easy to get blindsided when you're watching other peers. You're gonna compare yourself with things you don't have, but the reality is both have their own blessings and benefits, and both have their own problems.
Yeah.
It kind of sums up to this video.
Finally, my own apartment. Oh man, this is great. It's peaceful and it's quiet. Hello to my new life. Oh man, it is so nice not being around my parents or my siblings. And it's great not having to wake up to a vacuum cleaner or dishes being slammed around at 7 a.m. Honestly though.
Oh, but that's also another thing, bro. Please, for the love of God, clean your apartment. Some of my friends who have moved out, it's their first time moving out. Bro, you go into the apartment. I'm not saying it's musty, but boy, oh boy, God damn it, clean. Moving out will also, again, show how adaptable you are. Do you know how to clean? Do you know how to cook this, that, and the third? Because fuck what social media is saying, bro. You are going to have to cook when you move out, one way or another, bro. You can't keep getting DoorDash forever. Unless you really got it like that. Okay, cool. But most of the people that I know, and probably most people that are watching this video that are first time people moving out, y'all don't got it like that to the point where you can be door dashing every fucking day. You're gonna have to cook. You're gonna have to meal prep. Just get used to it, man. Get used to it. You probably gonna fuck up a few times cooking because a lot of y'all weren't raised to like cook things like that. I was raised to cook things. That's probably like one of the reasons why like I was never one of those people that was like, oh, a woman has to cook and clean for me, because I'm already doing those things myself. But yeah, learn how to cook.
I'm kind of lonely. It's so weird. I don't have anyone to hang out with. Man, I really wish my mom was here to cook for me. Hey mom, I miss you. Oh my gosh, there's so many dishes. How am I supposed to pay this bill?
But going back to our main topic, if you're in your 20s living with parents, that's okay. But if you do decide to move out, that decision shouldn't stem from societal pressure. It shouldn't be like, oh, everybody else is moving out in their 20s, so I should too. No, it should depend on what you're trying to accomplish for the next few years in your life. If you want to be in a brand new environment, venture out, gain some independence, and meet new people, you might want to consider living on your own. If you want to save as much money as you can for your future, it might be a better idea to stay at home. Nowadays, you really got to consider the financial aspect of it though, because we already know the cost of living and rent is atrocious.
Have you seen how much apartments cost? I'm not gonna lie, if you a grown-ass man and you still living with your mother,
nigga, stay there.
So you have to think about the trade-offs to even
Again, different strokes for different folks, but I can't stay there, brother. Respectfully, I can't. Like I feel like my growth as a person would lessen if I didn't move out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this isn't me like forcing y'all or telling y'all to move out, because again, do not move out because of societal pressure. But I feel like I'm not alone in the feeling of I feel like I would stay stagnant as a person if I didn't move out. You know what I'm saying? But also, like, there's a lot of things that I want to do and I wouldn't have been able to do them if I was still living with my parents. You know, like me being as loud as I want when I'm doing my YouTube shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of other things, bringing girls over, like, yeah. Me cooking something randomly at like 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? But like this dude said, man, moving out comes with its pros and cons, just like how staying with your parents comes with its pros and cons. But yeah, all in all, if you're staying with your parents and stacking up bread, cool. Keep doing that, you know. Move out eventually if you want. To the people that are staying with their parents and either A, are blowing their checks every fucking week, or B, you're with your parents and you're not doing shit, you're just being a bum, you're chud maxing. Get a fucking grip. Oh my God. You are a grown ass adult. Get a grip. And to all my people that are chud maxing into their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Oh my God. Holy shit. I can't even imagine doing that. Like, genuinely, like the faces that I'm making right now, because I can't even fathom that happening in my life. Like me staying with my parents when I'm like 30 or like 40 something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like my mom, we stayed with my grandma for like 6 months to a year, but it was because my mom was in the process of getting a new house. That's fine. That's fine. If you're in the process of making things shake, cool. But if you are living with your parents and you're not doing shit, you're being a bum, there's something wrong with you mentally.
It might come with having a roommate, a smaller room, living in a dangerous neighborhood. Regardless, if you find moving out to be worth it, that is ultimately your decision. Yeah. Unless you got kicked out of the house the moment you turn 18, but that's a topic for another video. I do have to say though, when you're an adult living with your parents, it's easy to fall into being babied. And what I mean by that is that you might still get treated like a 13-year-old even when you're 25. And I think you should be aware that living in this bubble with the comfort of your parents' support should not be a permanent thing. No matter what, you are still relying on them, which is okay, but have a plan. You should not.
Yeah, I don't want to. Me personally, I don't want to be like relying on somebody like a crutch forever. And my mom raised me to be that way. My mom and my dad raised me and my sister to like be independent in certain aspects. And I feel like that's one of the reasons that really made us just be like, oh yeah, we gonna move out the crib. Not because we were forced to. Like my parents never forced that on us. We were just like this is what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? We want to grow as people, you dig?
Not be depending on your parents forever. That's how this whole stigmatism was created, where you're that guy living in their mother's basement and incapable of moving out. And I said incapable because there's a difference between having the full capability to move out but choosing to stay versus having no other choice but to stay. American culture does make it looked down upon for living with your parents in your 20s, and I feel like a lot of people get insecure when they share that their home life is with their mom and dad. But I also feel like that's when you're dependent on them. If you're financially stable, happy, confident in your life, you wouldn't be ashamed about living with them because you have the ability to move out on your own. But even if you aren't at that stage, if you're working towards something and have a plan, you're fine as long as you're not like leeching off like a bum. Anyway, yeah. Like and subscribe. Thank you so much if you made it this far into the video. And
shout out to this dude, man. Hey, he makes some good ass content. Actually, we gonna hit that boy with a sub. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to True Day for this video. And yeah, I'm not forcing y'all to move out of y'all parents' crib. Don't let social media force you to move out of your parents' crib. But if you have that feeling in your heart, like I did, of I want to grow as a person, I don't want to stay stagnant. Hell, I don't even want to stay in my hometown, because boy, oh boy. Bro, I got love for the DMV. I do. I got love for the DMV. I got love for the place I was at in the DMV in Maryland. But bro, I could not imagine being there for a long period. I couldn't imagine even being there with me being 21, 22, 23. I couldn't imagine that shit. And I was having these thoughts when I was 18, working a dead end job. I was getting paid like $300 every 2 weeks, blowing my checks on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. But again, if you are staying with your parents, do not let social media fucking make you feel ashamed for that. But make sure you have a plan. Make sure I'm not gonna be one of those people that's gonna be like, oh yeah, staying with your parents is cool and that's just what you should do. You know what I'm saying? Have a plan. Have a plan. If you have the money to move out and you're just staying with your parents to save up more money, cool. My question to you with that though is, what are you saving up your money for in actuality? Are you just saving it up so you can get a big ass house? Are you that's just how I feel, you know what I'm saying? Now me, I'm with roommates, things of that nature, but these people are my friends, they my brothers, and yeah, I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Do you think you're a bum ass nigga for staying with your parents when you're 20 some years old? Did you evolve as a person when you moved out? I've heard a lot of stories of people evolving when they moved out, whether it was living in an apartment within their hometown or moving out of their hometown in general. I feel like the latter is the best thing to do. Moving out of your hometown. Oh my God, especially if you're like where I was at, like in a dead end town, like not a dead end town, but you know, you see a lot of people from high school and they're like stuck still, and that's where they want to be. That's not where I want to be. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. Love y'all so much. Let me know what you think. Put this in the comments. See you in the next video. Marso Mafia the gang, Marso Mob the squad. Deuces.